Hi everyone, so today we are going to plant my last package of Impatiens. This is Tropical Fizz Hybrid. Now you guys know I have a package of these already on the go, the Tropical Fizz, and then I have a package of the red Impatiens that I started for a friend. And we decided we would divide these up between the two of us. He would take the reds and then I could take the rest. So I'm going to start these. Now these are really tough to grow because of the damping off issue, but I'm going to show you the progress I've had with what I've started, and then we're going to start these. But first I want to show you guys how much perlite I add to my soil mix. I have it right here. This has already been mixed up. This is Pro Mix soil, and I've already given it the boiling water treatment and that. So now it's ready for the perlite to be added. I like to use perlite in my soil mix to lighten it up and increase the aeration in it when I have soils like this that are really heavy. Now this has got a lot of twigs and stuff in it here, and I do pick them out when I do mix it with the boiling water, but I do miss the odd one. But like if I use the Jiffy mix, I don't need to add perlite, but this does have some in it when you get it in the bag, but I still feel like it's heavy enough that it needs more oxygen to it and to also help it dry out sooner. So we're going to add this in here, and I just randomly pour this in. I have no set amount that I put in, but I do look for a certain consistency. So for a few people that have asked me how much perlite I add to this, I'm going to show you. So let's do that right now. So I have my wooden spoon there to mix things up. I use that a lot, and I've already opened this bag and used some of it. So I'm just going to show you, like, I don't measure. I just put a heaping amount in like that, and that's probably, since I used some before, probably a quarter or a third of a bag. And these are only 5-liter bags. You can see here they aren't very big, but I like them because they're easy to work with. And then I basically I'm going to come through here and mix it up, right? Because this soil is wet from using the boiling water, but this will lighten it and take that moisture out. And it just makes for a really nice blend. And I find that the seedlings really respond well to this mixture. But don't get me wrong, I still like the Jiffy seedling mix the best. But this can be used for potted plants and it can be used for seedlings, according to Pro Mix. So it is very versatile, and I can buy it in the great big bales, which is also more economical than buying all the little Jiffy bags. It makes a huge difference. And if you hear noise, Matilda's in the kitchen here. She wants me to hang out with her while she eats, and I'm trying not to do that. So if you hear lots of prancing and running around, it's her putting on a show for me to try to get me to hang out with her so she'll eat. And she does this every single night. So I'm just going to put my hands in this now, and I want to get the soil off the bottom and make sure it mixes in well. And we're starting to see a looser consistency in the soil by doing this. So this works really well, and I'm going to add a bit more just to mix it up really good. Sometimes I will find some soil stuck on the bottom, and then I just add in a bit on top just to get a good mixture on it and to lighten it up. So it does need a bit more. Now you don't have to add this much. This is just, I like a certain consistency of my soil when I use this particular type of soil, and the perlite really does help lighten it up a bit. It just makes it nice and crumbly. So we'll just finish mixing this up and then we'll start our seedlings. Now I will warn you, impatient seeds are super small. Yeah, I'm just picking twigs out. All right, that's good enough. Let's start our seeds. Now, the reason I want to get these going is because these can take anywhere from 10 to 100 days to germinate. They are unpredictable for germination is the way I would put it. But you can see how tiny those seeds are, and I am really just going to broadcast them. I'm not going to spend a lot of time picking them out one by one, and hopefully I will be able to cover them pretty good. I've got a bit of soil on my hands, so they're going to stick, so I'm just going to rinse my hands. But these are gorgeous. They should be started a good 8 to 10 weeks ahead. So I think with my first frost is usually, or last frost is usually around May 11th and that. A lot of people don't put these out until after Mother's Day. So I think we're timing this pretty good. and we'll see what we get. Germination rate on the other ones wasn't the best, so I'm hoping that this will be better. And that's a little bit crooked on you. So I'm just going to fill this tray real quick with soil. All right, so here's the seed. I put it in my little container, and we're just going to pick it up like this in my fingers, and I am just going to scatter it as much as I can. And some of them might be off. If you see them go off, then you can kind of push them over. This is really fine work. You could use the toothpick method. You could use tweezers. Both of those are an option with doing these. Now, I like to sow these on top because they are a very small seed. So that's what you're seeing me do here. There may be some where there'll be more than one seed in a cell, but we can thin them out later. And I'm not too concerned about that because I haven't found the germination all that great on doing these. So just a heads up on these. These are McKenzie seeds. And like I said, I think the Fizz did better than the Reds, just from my experience so far. I've never grown Impatiens before from seed, so this is a first. So I will just let you know that I'm trying to do different things with seed starting and try different plants that you would normally buy at a greenhouse or a big box store. Some of those favorites with shade flowers, which Impatiens are, they're perfect for shade, being one of the top ones people hunt for. I can't tell you how many times I have been at a greenhouse and people are asking for Impatiens. So this is all I got left, is pretty much a few crumbs. So I'm just going to scatter them over the first one because I feel like I didn't get that one the best. Okay, so you can't really see where I put them, but they're in there. So we're just going to tap them in so they make contact with the soil. And then a very light mist, because like I said, they're very susceptible to damping off. So what I do with my Impatiens is when I see the humidity dome building up a lot of condensation, I will remove it and give them some air. And pretty much once they're in here and that, I don't water them until I see them sprout or they're very, very dry. So there's a couple little pieces I wanted to get out of there. All right, let's give these a spray. And all I have in here in my sprayer is just water because they're just too young. So we're just gonna give this a very light, just top them up so they stay in place. Keep it fairly high up so we don't send that seed flying. That's it. Doesn't take much, and then we'll put our label on. So Impatiens Fizz Hybrid. That is the name of them. And then we'll put our dome on. So here they are. I put them under the grow light in my kitchen. And here are the petunias. Since I'm over here, I'm just going to give you a quick update on them. All right, so I'm going to let you see. They're all starting to come up. This is the tidal wave here and here. And then this is tidal wave. And this is the pink purple wave right there. You can see we're starting to get some seeds coming up, which is fabulous. Aren't they tiny? And this is in the ice cube trays, which was my experiment. And it's working okay. You just got to keep up and make sure you keep them moist. That's the key because they aren't as deep as regular cells. I have really good drainage holes in them, so I'm hoping they do well. But definitely so far so good. And that you need, I'm using a shoe rack actually to hold these trays on because they fit better than the regular seed starting trays. So there's another tip for you, but everything's reusable, and that's why I'm testing this. And I just keep the humidity dome over it. It pretty much covers it, so that works okay. All right, let's have a look at what I have for Impatiens now that I already started. Okay, so these are the ones I started for my friend. These are the red Impatiens. And you can see I've got a little bit of a crack going here from carrying them over here, but that's okay. So you can see here, we have very sporadic growth in here. There's a bit of LJ going, but you see we are having some success in here. And I'm just gonna carefully, you can see like there's one like right there, right along that edge. So they're very slow to come up. They're kind of hit and miss, and they're extremely fragile. You can see right here that they're extremely fragile. So not the best growth. This is probably the biggest one right here. There's a few more over here on this end seem to be doing better. Maybe they're getting more light. I don't know. But really hit and miss. He'll get a few out of this. I'm going to come through and mist this right now because the surface is dry. So I'll just give this a quick mist. And I'm not going to mess with that crack at this point. I'm just going to leave it as is. And that's really all you want to give them is a surface mist. Otherwise you'll lose them. I don't know that I would try these again because the growth rate wasn't the best. But it was an experience. And if I can give him some out of them, I will be very happy. So that is the red, and these are McKenzie seeds. So not the best germination, but 10 to 100 days. So maybe that is good. Maybe some more will germinate. So that is that tray. Let's look at the Tropical Fizz, which is the same as what I just planted and showed you guys that we just started. And like I said, once I get humidity like this on the dome, I take it off and let them breathe. So this one doesn't need any water. So this is the Tropical Fizz. And you can kind of see where we're going. The perlite is on top to help dampen, prevent damping off. I can't speak tonight. Been a long, long day. But you can see here what we got going. So we have a couple in each cell. I think there's still some coming up. They're very tiny when they come up, so it's hard to see them, but you can see what I have. So we might have a few more here. We'll see what colors they are. I might just give them all to him just because there wasn't many in the red, but we'll see what the next tray that we just started, how it does. But you can see how they look when they come up. Anyhow, that's what I wanted to share with you tonight is how I start Impatiens and share with you how finicky they are to start. Once again, 10 to 100 days to germinate. These are shade-loving annuals. And they are beautiful in the garden, but they are challenged to start and grow. Next time, what I would do, I think, is I would buy multiple packages and then add them in here to increase the germination rate. But when I went back to get more, they were sold out. So we'll take what we can get out of these, and I'll probably give them all to my friend if they survive. Cross your fingers, I'm able to keep them going. They probably would have did better if they were in a greenhouse, but we make do with what we have to work with, and quite honestly, I was happy to see them germinate. So it's a start. Anyhow, I'll see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one, and thank you for watching. Bye, everybody.